All right, we're live. We haven't started yet. We're waiting for break to get on in. It's RP Grinders. We should have a swift show today. Not a ton of news. I have quite a few reviews, but I'm gonna just go through them very quickly.
I thought we were making that the free for all because I
Oh
had no
yeah,
idea we
that's
could
right.
free for all. So we're
That
just gonna do a bunch of reviews.
actually we should just yeah. Let's just when we get to reviews, I'm gonna just say we'll do that in free for all. Eric. That way we can have more time to go through them. Yeah, because I know you had a ton. Uh,
And depending on whether it breaks all the movie or not, we'll talk about Dragon Ball Superhero.
oh yeah. Well, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to review. So
I did not get to watch Adam's Family Values because I tried watching it on Paramount Plus and it just doesn't want me to. Because every
oh
time I try to play it, it'll get through the ads and then it will just lock up.
damn it, hate when that happens. Sometimes that's just a provider thing, you know.
Is the movie not present? Because it should just give me a thing that says the movie's not available.
Yeah, I agree. The show's Grinders. We haven't started yet. We're waiting for break to get on in before
I
we.
guess I'm just gonna have to go to the Seven Seas to download version somewhere.
Yeah, probably, man. Adam's Family Value's okay, you know. I mean, been a while since I seen it. Let's see.
The HBO thing is getting more ridiculous by the day.
Is it? I haven't
They
kept up.
canceled a bunch of shows immediately, and now you can't watch them anymore. And there are no plans for DVD or Blu-ray releases. And a lot of them were children's entertainment.
That sucks.
I even got a list here. It's like, this isn't all of them, but these are the most prominent ones, apparently. 12 Dates of Christmas. These are HBO Max originals, by the way. About Last Night, Aquaman, King of Atlantis, Close Enough, which I wanted to watch, now I can't. Unless I
They
don't know.
they took
Aquaman,
Aquaman, King of Atlantis off of there.
Yeah.
Well, damn it! I wanted to watch that too. Son of a bitch.
Ellen's Next Great Designer, Esme and Roy, The Fungies, Generation Hustle, Generation, Infinity Train, Little Ellen, My Mom, Your Dad, Odo, Ravi Patel's Pursuit of Happiness, Summer Camp Island, The Not Too Late Show with Elmo, Runaway Bunny, Theodosia, Tig and Seek, Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs, which I guess is Flintstones, and HBO's originals, My Dinner with Herb, Cher, Cartoon Network, Dodo, Elliot from Earth, Mau Mau, Heroes of Pure Heart, Mighty Magiswords, OK KO, Let's Be Heroes, Uncle Grandpa, Victor and Valentino. The acquired titles are Detention Adventure, Missy Goes to Okido, Mia's Magic Playground, The Ollie Moon Show, Pac-Man the Ghostly Adventures, and Make It Big, Make It Small, and Squish. And they removed about 200 episodes of Sesame Street.
Wonder why.
Because WB. I I found out the reason. WB is getting rid of their stuff because they want to skip paying residuals for certain shows, and HBO Max is doing the same for a lot of their content for the same reason.
So what is the point of getting HBO Max
and
then?
they can get a tax break if they do this too. So that's another reason for
Right. So I again, that's not.
It's not like they're going to use the money that they save for anything. They just want all the money instead of some of the money.
Yeah.
They're just being greedy motherfuckers because they can.
Yeah. Let me call you right back, Eric.
Nobody's going to stop them.
Yeah, Eric. The people can stop them by not signing up for HBO Max or getting rid of it.
I don't think they care if that happens, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Hey, I need to restart my Skype, Eric. So let me call you right back, dude. The show's RP Grinders. We have not started yet. I'm waiting for Breakman to get here. Looks like he's reinstalling Skype. Of course he is. why, why wouldn't he be doing that? I just had a really weird Skype problem, so let me call Eric back. All right, dude. There we go. Let's see if I can get. Oh wow, this is really not good. Holy shit. God damn it. What the fuck, man? Let's see. Okay, there we go. Wow. I updated my Skype today, and I don't even see the goddamn... Oh god, this is really bad. I can't even see the chats or anything. The fuck are you doing, Skype? Let's see if I can do it this way. Nope.
Borderlands 3 is available on Amazon or Best Buy. With Best Buy having the Steelbook, apparently, for $8.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I heard a lot of mixed opinions on... No, not even mixed, skewed opinions on Borderlands 3, with most people not liking it.
Borderlands 3, yeah. Alright, I got it back there. Thankfully.
I heard that Tiny Tina's Wonderland is fun, though, because it actually knows how to do good quests.
I've heard some pretty good things about that game.
And you're not stuck in an open world setting where you're driving a car around most of the time with boring gameplay instead of you're doing dungeon runs.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some pretty good things about it. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but,
I think the biggest barrier of entry for Tiny Tina's Wonderland is how much you're willing to put with Ashley Burch's portrayal of Tiny Tina.
Yeah. Alright. If you're just joining us, we're waiting for Break to reinstall Skype, which is, par for the course for RPGrinders. But I'm on with Eric RPG, and we're just doing a little pre-show banter before we get to the crux. Not a lot of news today, but we do have a lot of reviews.
I didn't bother checking today. That's why I didn't add more.
Yeah, that's okay. It's fine, because we got a lot of reviews, Eric. Like, a lot of reviews. I'm going to go through mine as quick as I can. Lots of stuff on the docket today as far as reviews go. Of course, we're going to have some stinkos. Did you... let's see. What is... Wyland's in chat. The reinstall Skype man should be his moniker. I agree. I totally agree.
Get a fucking computer, man. What's more like it?
Get a new computer, man. Yeah, I don't think it's a Skype problem, dude. I think it's a Breakman.
Why are you using fucking laptop? It's old as shit.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a marathon, raise money for Breakman Day. So he can get a new laptop or something. New PC, something. Okay, let's see. So yeah, not a lot of news, but we do have some pretty good Stinkos this week, pretty good Sweetos. One in particular that I got for Sweetos is actually going to be really fun for me to talk about. Stinkos are going to be fun as always, and of course, for free for all, we're going to be talking about a bunch of reviews and also, Eric, crudité. Have you ever heard of crudité?
No, but I'm aware of the situation where Oz can't pronounce things.
Yeah.
He can't even pay attention to read well enough to know that what the name of the story's in is.
Well, this is a little different. I don't know if you saw his campaign ad, but it's pretty laughable, pretty funny. But lots to talk about today. We're just waiting for Break to hopefully get his...
So Frank, I showed you that link on Twitter about Gen X, but can we really trust your opinion when you're really Generation Zero because you're so old?
How dare you, Eric? You're starting before the show even starts, man. You should have waited for that zinger. The answer is you can always trust me, Eric. Of course. Of
No,
course.
because you keep records, right?
That's right. I'm the record keeper, man, from the dawn of time. Oh man, that was good, Eric. I gotta hand it to you, man. That was a good one. Uh, doesn't mean I'm not gonna exile you before the show. Which here you go, Eric. Even
Exiled.
even before we get to the show. So there you go. Boom. And then we'll do this. There we go. Okay. But
I beat Freak at something. I got exiled before you did today.
you beat him at something that's not hard to do. What'd you beat him at today?
Exiles, because he
Oh,
hasn't got exiled.
I know, right? Well, it's kind of unfair. He hasn't showed up. Usually, when he shows up, he gets an
Yeah,
immediate
but
exile.
sometimes you exile them before the show even starts throughout the week.
I think you actually have the honor of being the earliest exile I've ever done, Eric. So congratulations. Congratulations. You got exiled earlier than anyone else has in the history of RP Grinders. Oh man, this should be a fun show today, guys. I can't wait to get this show on the road. Let's get Breakman in here and get this thing going. But I can't wait till we do the reviews, man. I'm actually excited. We're gonna hold off on reviews till the free for all. But I did want to talk about Dr. Oz's foray into trying to connect with the everyday man.
One thing I did want to ask is that, did you want to talk about that police mass shooting in Colorado?
I am going to talk about that, Eric, and I may be involved in that.
Mm.
So we're going to talk about that. That's actually in my Stinkos. So, we'll be talking about that quite a bit, actually. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of reviews. Actually, we'll do that in free-for-all. Let's see. Sweetos are pretty good this week. I got one really good one, and it couldn't come at a better time.
You and Break have a joint review on Sonic 2, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Did he see it? I think he did.
Yeah, he said he watched it because I saw one of his tweets on the weekend.
Oh, okay. Then we'll go ahead and tackle that. That's pretty easy one to do, but yeah, I'll add that to the pile. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. I say 6-ish because one of them is not really. It's more of a preview than a review. Looks like Eric's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibly to do. So there's a lot of reviews this week. That's why we're rolling those up into the free-for-all. But this is shaping up to be a good show.
It's the end of summer movie review podcast.
Pretty much. Dog days of summer, man.
It's so dumb, though. It's just because the summer doesn't end until the 20th of September, so...
Yeah, it's not. It's still hot as hell here. I'll tell you that. Doesn't get cooled down until about September.
Because it's still technically summer, I gotta get my ass into gear and finally review Senran Kagura Beach Beach Splash Festival Versus.
Yeah. Cool. It looks like Break's in there. So let's see if he's...
I'm only throwing in Soul Versus because it's technically taking place during the summer.
All right. Let's get our good friend Break in here.
Or at least the summer enough atmosphere, because they're on a beach and they're all wearing bikinis, so it's clearly bikini wearing weather.
Well, nothing wrong with that. All right, let's call Break, get him in here, get this show on the road. Should be fun. Hey, Break, do we have you?
Yes, I hope so.
Oh yeah, right on, man. Sound good too, man. No problems. Hopefully that'll be the case throughout the show. How you doing, man? How was your week, bud?
I'm all right.
All right, good.
was fine. It was a week, and it was good. I think maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
not. I'm not sure.
you
I
made
was there.
you made it till Friday. So
Yeah.
this is probably going to be a good. I mean, dude, this is going to be a good week on Grinders. Not a lot of news, and we can do a lot of reviews. I hope you at least have 1 or 2 reviews to do.
Oh, I have
but
a couple reviews. Yes.
yeah, we're going to hold those to free for all because we got tons of reviews. So
Okay. Yeah,
this
I
should
got a
be.
couple of movies to review. So
Oh,
I'll be
right
right
on.
back.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's get. Are you guys ready to go?
I thought he said boobies for a second. It's like, are you gonna give us a porno review?
Well, that would be fine too, man. Review Pirates for us. Break
Which one?
the first one. All right, you guys ready to go? Break, you ready?
I think he's still away from keyboard.
He might have just stepped away from his keyboard. Break, you ready? Maybe he's on mute. It doesn't look like he's on mute. He probably went to go get something to drink. Breakman, are you there? Breakman, are you there? Yo, Breakman.
Yeah, I think a lot of what HBO Max is doing right now is also kind of what Paramount's doing, because for whatever reason, the first, actually it's more of a director's cut, but it's the director's cut of the first Star Trek movie that's leaving Paramount Plus. I'm like, why? You own it. Why? You Disney vaulting your shit because you're doing it for the same reasons all these other companies seem to be doing it?
Well, they may be coming out with the special like 4K edition of it, like
Maybe.
you know, and that I mean, I don't blame people for taking certain properties off for a short time so they can try to sell physical copies, but there's going to be a time when it's just not feasible, not, plausible. Break, do we have you? Breakman, bathe her and bring her to me. I wonder if he can hear us. Let's see. Can you hear us? Oh, there's Break.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure. Okay, you ready to rock?
Sure.
All right, let's do this thing. And welcome, everybody, to episode 703 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great and Breakman the Bold. We had a little bit of time before we started to kind of talk a little bit. How are you guys doing? I know, Break, you had a week, and
Yeah, no, it was okay. It was fine.
yeah. I mean, at least it's better than bad, right?
Right.
I mean, that's always good. What about you, Eric? Okay,
Mostly okay. I didn't get to play Xenoblade 3 as much as nearly as I'd hoped I would this week, but oh well. I'm making up for it by playing it pretty much all weekend then.
Well, that's cool, man. Maybe you'll get that sucker done. Probably, knowing
Hopefully
you.
by next week when Soul Hackers 2 comes out.
Yeah. All right, let's get straight into the news. We don't have a ton for you guys this week, but let's go ahead and do it.
Thank the Lord, praise Jesus.
RPG news. All right, Eric, you are up, my man.
Okay, Anno Mutation Nem is coming to the Switch and it's dated for September 1st.
What the hell did you just say?
Yeah, I don't know. Anno, I think Anno's like Latin for like year or something.
Yeah, what it looks like is like sort of like oh, how can I put this? Like
Cyberpunk.
a cyberpunk
Detective game. I
yeah,
guess.
adventure-ish RPG sort of. I don't even know what to classify. I've seen videos on this, but I can't.
From what I've read of reviews, or like I've read them like in passing, but the general consensus was that the plot was incoherent, but it was still interesting to experience.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Blade Runner meets.
I'm thinking mostly incoherentness probably comes from maybe a not so great localization choices.
So it's not like a Metal Gear game; it's just bad translation.
It could be. It could be that. I mean, I could see that
Maybe
for a
it's
game
a little
like
bit
this.
of both.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it looks decent enough. I've seen enough video on it. But
I might
anyways,
get it when it's on like a heavy discount, though.
yeah, me too. All right. Anything else on that,
I
Eric?
don't think I'll play the Switch version though, because it probably will have performance issues,
All right. Anything else?
which is weird for a game like that. I mean, but like still, like you don't want an adventure game running slow because it shouldn't be.
Right. Right. All right. Let's move on to the next story. Break.
Coming to us live from RPG site. Excuse me. Narrative-focused fairy tale horror RPG Little Goody Two Shoes announced for Astral Shift and Square Enix.
You know
I
what comes up when you say that to me, Break?
Mm,
Little goody two shoes, little goody two shoes. Ash from Evil Dead.
oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
This actually sounds pretty interesting. Developer Astral Shift has unveiled Little Goody Two Shoes, a narrative-focused RPG that is described as a mysterious new fairy tale anime adventure with a dark twist. The project is being published by the Square Enix Collective Initiative, initiative that primarily partners with select upcoming indie titles. Astral Shift is based in Portugal and is also a co-developer on the Project Mirror. Goldener Tram? I did not know. Remastered as releasing Pocket Mirror from 2016. Another mystery horror RPG. So that sounds interesting.
Yeah. No, it did. It look. I mean, how many games from Portugal do we ever get? You know, I'm totally down for that.
I would not be surprised if it's more like Corpse Party, where there's like very little combat and just a lot of exploration.
It's okay with
Set
me.
in the mysterious Kieferberg village, Little Goody Two Shoes is an homage to the original PlayStation early PS2 RPGs and is centered around Elise, an ambitious girl determined to become rich and escape her humble life. That's a different quest than the normal RPG. That's normally the villain's goal
Right,
of the RPG.
right.
Players will step into Elise's shoes and soon find themselves immersed in a 90s-inspired horror role-playing adventure game. Roleplay elements such as substance, reputation, and suspicion, and exploration and narrative will guide players to complete their daily tasks by day and uncover the woodland's darkest secrets by night. Players will also have the ability to set their own paths to navigate through the wicked woods, solve puzzles, and build meaningful relationships, a nostalgic gaming experience. So I think Eric's right. I don't think there's any fighting in this game.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's not. I mean,
that reminds me of like games on like from the 80s, like Shadowgate, stuff like that, you know?
yeah, where it's mostly just story driven and explorative type things. That's why I don't understand.
those.
I don't understand the hate for walking sims. You know, it's like I played a couple of them, and it's actually a nice diversion from killing everything.
Also,
you know?
Because they're easy to make fun of.
Yeah.
It's wrong to call Death Stranding a walking simulator when it's actually just a postman simulator.
It's a Norman Reedus walking simulator.
Well, it's not even a walking simulator because at a certain point you'll be able to make zip lines and you won't have to even walk.
Sweet.
Oh, so it's just a Norman Reedus simulator. Got it. Just a day in the life of Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
The video game.
Right. Norman Reedus, the video game.
Wakes up in the morning, takes a shit.
Right. And he doesn't
10 minutes
even shower.
later, getting breakfast.
You
Right.
could actually turn that shit into a grenade and throw it at these monsters called BTs.
I think they need to make a serious puzzle game from Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, you know, who did it?
I think the idea is they take the DNA from your poop and then they put it into a bomb that when it explodes, like it will just cause a reaction to the BTs and cause them to die or whatever.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
You thought that through.
You.
No, Kojima thought that through. I'm the one that
okay. Yeah, okay.
tried to
That's a
piece
good
it
point.
together because most of this stuff is obscure and makes very little sense.
Yeah. Well, that's
Right, yeah,
that's Kojima for you, man. I mean, you know, we've learned anything from Kojima over the years.
It's apparently like tied to the plot because like there's stuff in his blood and sometimes blood gets in poop. So you know.
There was a
eating Chipotle, is he?
There was
Chipotle existing then? I don't think
I
so.
think it was a
I mean,
Reddit thread that was talking about Kojima and whether or not he was just esoteric or he was just like incoherent. And I go back and forth, man. Like I don't know the true answer to that because like you look at some of the games,
maybe
like
it depends on whether or not he's high or something.
maybe that's a good. I mean, I didn't even think about that angle. I wasn't even thinking in those terms, Eric. That's
Or
a
drunk.
a
He does drink a
very
lot.
very good possibility, but All right, let's move
Metal
on.
Gear 1 is him on beer. Metal Gear 2 was him on like whiskey. And Metal
Yeah.
Gear 3 was him doing straight tequila
Right.
and Jaeger bombs.
Right, he graduated from one horrible thing to another. Hey,
You just
Freak
get
Five.
him more and more drunk, and that's why the plot makes no sense.
Right. It just gets wacky. I mean, it's just totally
You're talking
wacky.
about Solid, right? Not
Solid, yeah.
Metal Gear 1 and 2. Metal Gear 1 and 2 is him probably doing,
Weed,
yeah.
the gateway
Like that's
drug.
his most tame. Like he was drinking like Gatorade then.
Right,
It was one of
Gatorade,
those-
yeah. There you go.
Spiked Gatorade.
Spike Gatorade.
It
Freak
just
Five,
kept
what?
the spike kept getting heavier and heavier and heavier until
Right.
he just stopped drinking Gatorade altogether.
Right. Freak Five's in the house. What's up, Freak Five? You're behind on Exiles, Freak Five, because Eric got an exile before the show even started. Son
Well,
of
he
a
sent us a
bitch.
picture of food, so you can go ahead and exile him.
Okay, you're exiled.
You know that Metal Gear Solid 4 was his attempt to sabotage the series so that you wouldn't have to work on it anymore.
Probably. He probably got tired of working on that shit anyways. They,
I can't blame him.
the way that what's the face Konami treated him, I mean, I don't blame him, but whatever. All right.
Not only that, like he couldn't do anything else because people are like, "What Metal Gear? What about Metal Gear? We need more Metal Gear."
Right.
Like, yeah, I love Metal Gear. Like this is my thing, but I want to do other stuff too.
Right. And then yeah.
Nobody wanted him to do other stuff. It's just Metal Gear, Metal Gear,
Right.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
He got to squeak out 2 mecha games, and then that was it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story coming to us live from RPGsite.net. Illustrated text-based RPG Road Warden arrives in September 8th for PC.
Philly cheesesteak loaded. How does that work? Is it just like smothered in steak and
Yes,
cheese?
steak
It
and
looks like it's
cheese
basically just a Philly cheesesteak with no bun. It's
Yeah,
thrown
pretty
on
much.
top of the
on fries. Yeah, so you trade one carb for another.
I'll eat that with a fork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's like
So
poutine, but without the sauce.
So this is basically a text game, like an old school text game. Modern take on classic text-driven choose-your-own-adventure RPGs. So there you go. Looks cool.
That's neat. That's
Yeah, September 8th, man. That's something a little bit.
The
And
bread is
now,
the potato.
and now for something completely different. All right, Eric. Next story.
Next story is Broken Roads gets a new publisher, delayed to 2023.
No.
Anyways, no longer being published by Team 17, and Versus Evil is now the new publisher.
I wonder why that took place. That's really
We
weird.
gotta get them back on.
We do got to get these guys back on. They were very passionate about this game, and this game, I mean, we've known about this game for what now, 2 years, guys? Like literally,
Feels longer than that, maybe. Yeah.
could be
Oh,
longer.
we already speculated is the reason why they probably delayed it to 2023 because they're no wait, that was another game, but it's probably the same reason. But because I think they're bringing it to PlayStation 5 and X, Series X and X.
Well, that's a good move if that's the case. So.
Also, Versus Evil is a fucking badass name. I'm just saying.
It is, man. No doubt. So, and obviously they got something with this game, man. It looks gorgeous. This game looks absolutely gorgeous. So, I mean, that was one of the things that struck us when we first saw this. I thought it was 2 years. I could be wrong, Break. It could be longer, but
I was just saying it felt like more than 2 years. But
Yeah.
you're probably right. I mean,
we've talked
I
to these
trust your
cats.
judgment.
We should get in contact with these guys again, Eric. See if we can wrangle up an interview with Drop Bear Bites, because these guys are good dudes, man. Really good dudes.
All right, I'll look into it.
Yeah. All right, Eric. Next story, please.
Guild Wars 2 for Steam has been dated, and it's coming out on August 23rd, so in a couple days.
Wasn't Scotoma talking about Guild Wars 2 last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Scotoma that was talking about that. Yesterday's episode of Beavis and Butthead was great. Freak5 says. I have not seen it.
And if you want
I haven't seen that either.
if you want absolutely everything, there's a bundle that's going to cost you $98.97, which is an oddly specific number, by the way.
Yeah, that is an oddly specific number. Why are they doing that?
Hmm.
Is it related to something?
Maybe.
98.97. That's interesting. Okay. All right.
Is that when the game first launched? No.
In 1998,
It's
probably.
Like the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, look, it still holds up pretty good. It's
No, I'm thinking it's an aughts game actually, but like early aughts.
All right.
Maybe that's where development started, though. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think it was Skodoma saying he was still playing that game, isn't he?
I was talking about Guild Wars 2. Yeah, this is Guild Wars 2.
No, not even early aughts. It's mid aughts or post aughts. 2012.
So Guild Wars 2 was
That's my
not
count.
on Steam all this time? That's really hard for me to believe. That's really weird. Have you watched the South Park 25th? I've seen pieces of it, Freak5. It's pretty fun.
I did.
Pretty fun.
I watched it.
All right, break. Last story.
Coming to us live from RPG site, Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom, launches on November 2nd.
It's Doraemon, by the way.
Doraemon?
Yeah.
Doraemon. These damn games need to come with
Like pronunciation cards, man.
something to help me out, you know?
The beloved Japanese cartoon character. Yeah. It's been
Doraemon.
around for forever.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. Yeah.
That's okay, fine. Okay, fine, whatever.
Not quite as long as Astro Boy, Tesla One Atom, but like still
Pretty close. Yeah.
The press release also revealed bonus items that will be available with early physical copies or digital pre-orders. That's good. The summer wear set will so it's all end-game stuff. Never mind. The summer wear set will contain costumes for the 5 main Doraemon. Is that right, Doraemon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Characters from the original manga and anime series. The home furniture set will add 3 new items exclusive to the Switch and PS5, and a physical exclusive sweet seed set will provide more seeds to plant early. Who the fuck cares? Like, that's just... Bandai Namco will also sell a digital deluxe edition of the game. It will contain a bonus seasonal... It will contain a bonus seasonal vegetable seed set as a substitute for the aforementioned sweet seed set. This edition will also come with an 80-track digital soundtrack and a game season pass for future post-release DLC. So that one actually is
Pretty
worthwhile.
beefy. Yeah, pretty
I do
beefy.
like how the characters kind of look like paper cutouts.
Yeah.
I like that you can get the whole goddamn soundtrack. 80 tracks. I don't imagine there are any more in the game than that.
No,
They
that's
reused like at least half the soundtrack from the first game.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, I think that does it for the new. Unless there's anything else on that break.
There's a new trailer for it, and I do not see anything else of relevance. So it'll be out on November 2nd. There you go.
All right. PlayStation's has got a new sale running. I saw. I mean, if you guys haven't picked up BioShock trilogy by now, go ahead and pick that up. I think it's like $15 or like $5 a game.
Those are fun games.
Really fun. What
Even
else?
though the third one's story like completely collapses in on itself, it was still a fun game to play up until then.
Right. Yeah. Two's
And the DLC tries to fix the mistakes they made in the story, but they made so many mistakes.
yeah,
it
it's
was
just a lot of holes in that second one,
yeah.
but still a good game, like solid, gameplay wise for sure.
Yes.
And then Infinite obviously is really good too, but
That's what I'm talking about. It's Infinite.
oh, okay. I thought you were talking about 2. 2 was
No, the story was solid. It was just
it was
after the big
slightly
reveal of the first
disappointing.
one,
Yeah.
It wasn't like the story for the first game was kind of overwhelmed the second story, I think.
Yeah.
Because there was a reveal at the end of the second game, but it was like the first one had such a huge reveal that it's like
Yeah,
it'd be like if they made a sequel to the Sixth Sense.
right.
The Sixth Sense 2. Well, no matter what the reveal is going to be at the end, there's no way anybody's going to remember it more than I see dead people.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. No, that's a great analogy, Break, for sure. Good analysis, man. So yeah, a bunch of cool stuff on PlayStation. Anything going on Xbox that you know of, Break?
Oh shit, that was last week. No. I forgot. Never mind.
What about Nintendo, Eric? I did see that they had a fairly good eShop one that I forgot to mention last week.
Yeah, like lots of stuff on Nintendo sale.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean that pretty much sums it up. Lots of good sales, which I will talk a little bit more about later. Kind of related. Breakman, did anybody send you anything?
No.
All right.
Inquiring minds want to know.
All right. Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Break.
This week, old stuff mostly. I played a little bit more of Wreckfest, but I'm kind of stuck in a section of it because there's to get any farther, I have to win races with a certain type of car, and it's really hard. I'm not very good at racing. If you could just let me get back to knocking cars off the road and stuff, that's what I'm good at. Let me do that.
Let me just do that over and over.
Yeah,
Just
I'm not good at
go back to the
winning a race.
GameCube version of Breakout, man, or not Breakout, Burnout. And
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I'm good at sabotaging a race, not very good at winning one.
right.
So I'm kind of stuck on that. And other than that, I've been playing mostly old games. So Pac-Man versus, I'm not Pac-Man versus Pac-Man Collection, which is or Museum, which is 256, and Pac-Man Attacks and regular Pac-Man. Just playing those games, and then I saw something else that I had downloaded, and I'm like, yeah, shit, I haven't tried this. So I popped open the Sega Genesis collection. And I was playing that. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess I have opened it. Because that's what I was thinking of last week when we were talking about Phantasy Star 2. It's on that collection.
Oh, gotcha.
Not on the Sega Mini. It's on it's like, oh, it's here. So I've been playing old games like Sonic 2, and mostly I've been playing Shining Force, the original.
Oh, Shining Force.
I never played it before, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's not too bad, man.
Strategy game, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember playing that and actually enjoying it. I don't enjoy many strategy type games, but that was one
Whereas
I remember.
I fucking love strategy games.
I know you're the resident strategy guy, for sure, man. So anything else you've been playing, Break?
No, that's it.
All right, Eric, what you been playing?
I've been playing just more Xenoblade 3 and Dark Souls 2 whenever, because mostly that this week, because I've had very little time to play Xenoblade 3. Because like I had to do laundry one day, and then I had to just watch a bunch of videos because I watched a couple of subscriptions on YouTube, and that just takes up a lot of time after work. So
yeah, for sure.
And I was just tired, so I was like, no, I'll just do whatever next day, and then next stuff happens.
It always happens that way, especially to me, man. I sit down to play a game, and then no sooner than I sit down, I get a phone call, or I have to do something, and it just sucks. But
it usually happens to me. It's like when I've finally gotten everything done, I can sit down and relax. I sit down, and it's like, oh, I got poop now. God damn it.
Pooping gets in the way of a lot of video gaming, that's for sure, man.
It's like, what the hell?
You know, at least you could say hashtag I poop today, you know.
There's a video game that Freak should play, but I want to wait to tell him if he oh wait, he is in chat.
Yeah, he is in chat.
There's a game called Call of the Lamb that came out recently by Devolver Digital, and it's about raising a cult. You're like a cute little lamb, but like the cult's devoted to an eldritch like god, and you make sacrifices to them. But a lot of the game's economy runs on shit, and there's like shit everywhere, like literal shit. And
it's like different types of shit, or just like amount.
Like you could turn corpses into shit, and then you can use shit as compost for food, so you can keep your cult village alive.
Yeah.
So can you get like
it is also
in it, or...
It's also a dungeon crawler, so I'm sure you can use shit as a weapon too.
Can you get corn? Corn shit. That'd be
like
awesome.
Extra crunchy poop or
Oh,
something.
God.
Yeah, he said last week he was thinking about buying it. Well, yeah, because I don't think it was out then. It's out now.
Yeah. I heard some fairly good things about it. Times
Is
it
that
could be.
on Game Pass though? I'm not sure.
That I don't know.
I don't think it is, but I won't be surprised if it doesn't show up there soon.
When I get back from Vegas, depending on how much money I got.
It's not my kind of game because I'm not into the whole city management or thing.
Yeah. When I get back from Vegas after September, I'm gonna get an Xbox X, and then we'll.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember seeing Freak talk about it in chat, but I was paying attention to other things then, so I
Yeah.
barely remembered it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna skip reviews for now. We're gonna put those all the way into free for all this week. I got a couple of things to talk about in free for all, but let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
Ah, what is it?
Stinko of the week.
All right, Break Man, I'm gonna start with you. I got to step away for just a minute. If Break gets done, Eric, go ahead and do your Stinko. Go right ahead.
Yeah,
Break
well, me and Eric are both Ohioans, so yeah, fuck Mike DeWine. He's a piece of shit. I said he'd be the worst thing we could ever elect, and I think I was right. Not only is he, implementing all the draconian abortion laws, and he has not yet acknowledged any of the ones, any of the things that have gone wrong, like the raping of a 10-year-old girl. Like he barely acknowledged that, and then he lied about it and said, "Well, yeah, she would have been able to take care of that in Ohio." No, she wouldn't have. She didn't meet the requirements. But now we found out that remember the nuclear power plant scandal?
No,
How some politicians were taking huge kickbacks to
not
make sure that.
surprised.
Well, right, but then to make sure the nuclear power plants got on, there was a big deal with them, and some voters went out and got votes to put on and make sure that we got the vote on it. And if that didn't happen, it probably would not have been discovered to fraud. Well, Mike DeWine until this week had been pretty much exempt from any like there was no like he wasn't implementing that in any way. Now he's heavily apparently was heavily involved in it. Yeah. So not only has he made it easier for people to carry weapons in the state, made it illegal to be a pregnant person and not be in control of the government. He's broken our constitution, the voting laws, which is another thing that I really want to bitch about. I have before. Him and the Republican Party are blatantly breaking the Ohio Constitution, and their punishment for it is nothing. They're not going to get punished or getting away with it. It's fucking ridiculous. And we now know for a fact our governor's a crook, and he's not going to get punished for it. So yeah, our state's run by fucking crooks, evil pieces of shit, and Mike DeWine's the worst of the bunch. So yeah. Do you have a Stinko, Eric?
I can't top that really.
I'm
But-
pooping, says Frank. Thanks, Frank. We all
But
needed to know
I
that.
guess having to deal with the new pollen outbreak because fall's almost here, and
Yeah.
fall always comes early in Ohio. So I got a face full of it, and instead of sneezing uncontrollably, even with allergy medicine, I got a throat full of shit.
Ugh. That's gross.
Yeah, and it's hard to breathe sometimes.
Ugh. Do you have any throat medicine?
No, I need to think about getting a lozenges tomorrow or something though.
Yeah, you definitely should. If you're still feeling like that tomorrow, I'd get something ASAP. Apparently he's pooping, so I guess we gotta think of other stinkos or something here. Freak's coming down with a cold. That sucks. Sorry. Dude.
Unless that's what's happening to me, because that could be it too.
Oh yeah. Either way, that sucks. Cold allergies, they both fucking suck. What else can we complain about here? Bring up the news. I know there's gotta be something shitty on here to piss me off. Oh, HBO Max, they're bullshit. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, if you're well, here amid their content purge, they're launching a 30% discount for HBO Max. So now's the time to get on HBO Max and binge as much as you can before you cancel it. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm binging everything on that shit.
I'd like to binge stuff right now, but I've got a gigantic.
Right.
So maybe after that.
Xenoblade 3 is going to take up a lot of your time. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm only about halfway through the game, and I'm only at the 60 something hour mark.
Oof. That's halfway through. Wow.
I got to chapter 6, and I'm assuming there's like 10 chapters, just like the last Xenoblade.
I'd have to go for your expertise on
I'm probably not gonna do absolutely everything, but I'm gonna do a great majority of the side quests because a lot of the side quests have meaty story content to them. So
yeah.
unlike the other Xenoblades, which was just a ton of fetch quests that usually had dumb plots. But,
Here I come to save the day.
I think I just found a new Sweeto.
What?
This is interesting. Well, we're not Sweetos yet. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, hold off on that.
I was trying to find Stinkos because we're stalling.
Stalling. All right, thanks, Break. That was awesome, man. Great job, man. Great job.
Thanks.
I have a Stinko. A couple of Stinkos. First one, they have. Okay, we were talking about sales on the PlayStation Store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever gotten to that point where they discount like a bunch of shit like to absurd levels, like $3, 99 cents?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that point where you almost feel like you have to purchase something. I mean, I've been getting into this thing where I go into the PlayStation Store and it's like, and luckily I don't have money right now because otherwise I'd be buying like probably 30 different things. But yeah, sales paralysis, man. I don't know. I'm just like, they're just too much stuff.
Should I get anything at all?
What's that?
I'm just saying what you're probably thinking. Like, what should I buy? Should I buy anything at all, or should I wait?
There's lots of stuff to buy. I mean, if you
I
don't
know
have,
that Inside was being sold for like $2 on the eShop.
yeah, I mean that's a
I'm
great
not
one.
sure. I think it might also be on sale on Xbox, but it's also on Game Pass currently.
Yeah, it's on the PlayStation Store too for I think like $4 or something. But it's worth it. It's a great game. But I mean, there's just so much stuff. I get like paralysis looking at all of it. But luckily, like I said, I had lack of money due to my vacation saving, which is good, you know. The other thing is that we can talk a little bit about is I might actually be a material witness in the Denver shootings. I don't know if I told you guys about the shootings that happened in Denver downtown. It's a pretty big thing. I don't know if it reached national status yet, but 4 officers decided, actually it was 5 officers decided, 3 of them decided to shoot into a crowd, and the guy was given he had a weapon, but he clearly threw it, raised his hands in the air. Of course it was a black guy, and they shot him like I think it was twice. They didn't kill him, but they shot a total of they injured a total of 7 people. Let's just put it that way.
Holy fucking Christ!
Yes. So
when you said they only hit him twice, I'm like, oh, really? They only fired twice? That doesn't sound like
no. They shot like 5 times that I know of, probably more, but they ended up injuring 7 people total.
They injured 7 people. It sounds like they just unloaded clips, which is the police that I'm familiar with.
Yeah. Now, how I play into this is earlier that same. I mean, I had just left that scene. I was right there that night. I was taking video of like the bar crowd after. Everybody was cool. Nobody was really, fighting or anything. But about a block away, this incident took place as I was in my car heading out. But that's not where I come into this. Earlier in the day, 3 of those officers, I have video of 3 of those officers, and a friend of mine and I both commented on one of the officers that shot in that shooting, that one day he was going to kill somebody, and it was prophetic. Luckily, nobody died that night, but one of the officers that we encountered that night is definitely dangerous and is definitely going to get somebody killed. And that if that isn't proof positive evidence of somebody that's unhinged and doesn't need a gun on their hip, it's that video. So I have it on my other channel, and the lawyers are definitely interested in what I have to say. So I might be a material witness in that shooting. So Just really weird the way that it happened. But yeah, about an hour and a half earlier, I encountered that officer and two of the other officers there. And I can't speak too much on the two other officers, but the one officer, I did make the observation that he's going to get somebody killed. And later that night, he pulled out his weapon and he unnecessarily shot at someone. And it's unclear whether his bullet or the other officer's bullets ended up injuring people, or a combination of all of them. But yes, so it was pretty harrowing. So that was my... those were my stinkos of the week, and you guys already went over yours. Let's move on to happier things.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweeto of the week.
All right, let's do Sweetos of the week. Breakman, your Sweeto of the week.
All right, I saw this one when I was looking for stinkos. Remember the NES company Sunsoft?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
They're back.
What? How?
Yes. The game publisher Sunsoft, best known for games Blaster Master, Batman, stuff like that, is attempting to return to publishing and developing video games. They announced just yesterday.
Well, I always thought that they're getting the rights from Sunsoft from Integrates getting rights from Sunsoft to make the Blaster Master games was like a getting your foot in the door, back in the door type of strategy.
That's cool.
Well, it sounds like it was, because they're coming back. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Just don't produce shitty games and you'll be okay.
They don't make shitty games.
I know, I'm just giving you shit, Eric.
They didn't
made a
make
lot of
many
games
games.
that a lot
No.
of people didn't play.
They just,
Yeah,
they
they-
made a lot of games that people didn't play. That's
Well,
exactly right.
They were more about quality than quantity. They didn't make a lot.
I like the
honest.
Batman game. The Batman game
Yeah,
is
but
pretty
I
good.
think their only really questionable game would be Fester's Quest.
Oh, I hate that game so fucking much.
I like that game, man. It
I
was
hate
And their
fun.
Game Boy ports of their NES content were sometimes not that great, but also
Yeah.
interesting in that they could also be very different. Like the Batman Game Boy game is very different than the NES one.
Fester's Quest was just an extremely hard game to beat.
Yeah, But let me see. I'm just looking at a list of some other games: Batman, Blaster Master, Lemmings. All fantastic games. Super Fantasy Zone.
They made the
Return
first
to
Lemmings for the
Silius.
NES, but Lemmings is made by a completely different company.
Right, I know. I'm saying these are NES games. My bad. I forgot to say that. I'm sorry. Batman: Return of the Joker, Gremlins 2, and Arrow the Acrobat for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's not a bad little lineup, It's not.
It's weird. Revenge of Joker for the NES is has a Genesis and Super NES port, which was not released, but the Genesis one definitely was. But it is so bizarre and weird compared to the NES version. I mean,
Yeah.
it's practically the same game, but the visual style is completely different.
Yeah. All right. What else?
And my
Blake?
other Sweeto goes to the. We didn't have that many problems connecting today.
I know, right? Knock
I
on
I
wood,
still
dude.
had to do the usual reinstall Skype, but it usually after I do that, it makes reboot and twice at least, and other ship. This time it just started working right afterwards. Well, really?
Maybe the new
Okay.
update worked, because there is a new update. So maybe that's cured some of the ills. I don't know.
Hopefully,
I know.
I'll cross my fingers, and then there'll be a new update next week, and
Yeah, and it'll fuck it all up. Exactly. All right. Anything else, Break?
Nope, that's it.
All right, Eric, your Sweeto of the week.
Dragon Ball Super Superhero is my Sweeto this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since I don't want to go back to theaters, I'm just waiting until it's out on digital.
That's probably a good plan, man.
Well, that means you didn't see it, so I don't know if I can review it.
Yeah, don't review it this week.
You can review it if you want. I'll just take my headset off.
Well, we've got a shit ton of reviews, so let's see how much
we
time
do
we
have a
got.
lot of reviews, so I don't see why we. I don't know.
Yeah, we should be able to have time. All right, my Sweeto, real quickly. Bernie got a check this week from the government. Can you believe it? State of Colorado gave every taxpayer a check for $750. Can you believe that? And it was included was a note from the governor saying, I signed a certain bill that said, we had a surplus, so we're giving it back to the taxpayers. So that's a big win, even though I'm not a big fan of the governor here. Of course, I'm not a big fan of, most politicians, to be honest. Matter of fact, almost all of them.
In other words, they're doing more than our shitty governor is.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like Bernie was like super surprised. She's like, "Holy shit, this is a check for $750." You know, couldn't have come at a better time because we're saving to go to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So, just nice to have. I mean, I wish, all states and even the federal government, if there's ever a surplus, I wish that. We need more of that. You know what I mean? Like a distribution of money that way. I mean, that helps a lot. Freak Five's Sweeto is Mrs. Freak has not been back in the hospital. That's really good, Freak Five. I'm happy to hear that, man. So there you go. I mean, a little bit of extra Christmas cheer before Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. All right.
It's more like Vegas cheer.
Yeah, Vegas cheer. Hey, I like that. I like that a lot. So let's go to our free for all. This is gonna be fun.
It's a free for all.
All right, so we're doing something a little different this week. I'm going to talk about something real quick, and then we're going to get into a bunch of reviews. So how dare you, Breakman? You're exiled, you son of a bitch.
Oh, fuck, that sucks. That's a stinko.
Oh, my landlady died. Wow. And the sun is kicking you out? What kind of bullshit is that, Scotoma? Oh, that really sucks, man. That really blows, man. And I just, I know. God
Landlords
damn
are
it.
a bunch of bullshit. That's happening a lot around here lately. Like,
Maybe you can find someplace near Scotoma. I know it's going to be kind of a tough sell.
My situation is a little different though, because like I don't have a landlord. I have a manager for the complex, which is owned by somebody else.
I actually do pay taxes, Freak Five, but no, I don't have a job currently. No.
And because like he has like several of these places, and I'm just in one of them, and the manager just takes care of it because he isn't really, he's not really a landlord.
Yeah, I mean that really sucks.
He'll come to you for rent if you're like late on rent, but like that's it.
I'm really sorry to hear
he's
that's
the flunky. He's not a landlord. He's just the flunky.
Yeah, I hate that shit, man. Like that's
the landlord doesn't even live in my county.
I mean, I think all leases should come with end lease like options, right? Like you have an option to go for another year.
I think you should be, if you own the property and you're renting it out, like you should have to live on the property at least a little bit of the year.
That's interesting. I'd
That
have
way
to think
people can
about
have
that.
Multiple properties, but like you shouldn't be owning a property and just.
But this location is weird because like. When I was living at the other complex that this person owns, I could do month-to-month payments, but now I have to do leases every year here. That's stupid.
Okay, guys, let's.
If you live in the place, you're gonna be more invested in it, and I think that's the problem with a lot of landlords. Like Eric's saying, his landlord doesn't even live in the county or anything. He wouldn't give a shit about what's going on in that apartment.
Yeah, that's why we don't have paved roads. I mean, I think we have the last vestiges of paved road for our parking and stuff like that. But whenever holes get formed, they just fill in the holes with tar, and it just ends up getting destroyed again by the end of the year.
Yeah, or within a few weeks. They do that shit here. Our roads are some of the worst in the country, if not the worst in the country.
Just repave the entire complex.
Yeah, why not? Well, it costs money. That's why.
It does cost money. Yeah.
But all right, let's get to this.
Something they actually did in my old place, and the only reason I even left. I mean, I get the advantage of living really close to my work now, but before I had to commute, and that kind of sucked. And now save gas, but like at least. But it's only after I left that they actually got a paved parking.
Yeah, that lot of good that did you, man. All right, let's get to some of this stuff. Now, right here, I'm just going to go over this real quickly. I just thought it was real. This is more of a lulz than a free-for-all. But, Breakman, let me ask you, do you know what a crudité is?
A crudité?
Yes.
A crudite?
Have you ever heard of that term in your lifetime?
It sounds like crouton, though.
It sort of sounds familiar.
Okay.
Sounds like coup d'etat.
Yeah.
Sort of sounds like coup d'etat for sure. What a coup d'etat? The simplest here. Let me explain.
Is it a material in Dark Souls that you use? Oh wait, it's titanite.
Let me explain why I bring this up. Dr. Oz brought up a campaign video. He's going up against Fetterman in Pennsylvania. And it was the funniest thing because he was in, I don't know if you saw this break, but he was in this store that's I guess pronounced Wegmans, but he called it Wagner or something. So he doesn't even know what the local store in Pennsylvania is called.
He doesn't even know the name of the building he's in?
Right.
Was he looking for the Nibelung ring?
So he goes into this grocery store, right? It's like a Kroger's. Just imagine a Kroger store, right? But he called it Wagner's instead of Wegmans, and you know, like it'd be like here, Kroger's here is called King Soopers. You know, if somebody called King Soopers King Swanman or something, like he totally got it wrong, right? So you know he's not local just based off of that, right? It's like
almost as bad as the idiot on Fortnite who got named on the internet already.
Yeah.
Who mispronounced Kamehameha.
Yeah. So, anyways, he goes in there with no shopping cart, no like handheld cart, you know, like carrier, basket. There you go. Thanks, Breakman. And he starts talking about a crudité, and he gets, look, you got a broccoli for $4, and he starts grabbing all this stuff in his arms, guacamole, salsa and he's like, so this stuff cost you over $20, and that's even before the tequila. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is a crudité, right? So his opponent, Fetterman, goes, here in Pennsylvania, we call this a veggie tray. So a crudité is basically a rich person's way of saying veggie tray. So,
wait, what is it? What is it? Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board.
Yeah, it's supposed to be charcuterie.
Well, I mean, same thing.
Yeah, it's a charcuterie board. Yeah, and I didn't know what that was either. I call that meat and cheese plate. Around my neck of the woods. But so these rich people have
names. I didn't know those things had names until recently.
Right. Me neither. But it's really funny. Like I had never heard that word crudité. Other than in books or every once in a while you'd see it like a charcuterie deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Breakman watches a lot of cooking shows, so I heard it on
She also blamed, of course, because he's Oz and a piece of shit. He blamed Biden on the cost of. Yeah.
I love how people blame presidents for everything.
What's even funnier is that he was listing off the wrong prices anyway.
I know, he was so stupid, man. It was just the dumbest thing. Like, who the fuck? He grabbed a thing of salsa, right? Who the hell has salsa on a veggie tray? I mean. Does anybody eat salsa with veggies? Like
dip? I do. I will sometimes.
Yeah, really? Like you'll take like a celery stick. I could see maybe a celery stick.
Yeah, I use celery for probably salsa.
All right.
I mean, because at that point the thing is just the salsa delivery mechanism. So who cares what it is?
Yeah, Freak says I think it depends on the price of the meat and cheese. A charcuterie board has more. Expensive meats and cheeses. Yes, I know, Freak 5. We're not as bouge as you are to be able to I shorten it even more.
I don't eat my meat and cheeses on boards. I eat them on the floor like normal poor people.
I put them on a plate. That's what I do.
Yeah, you know what I do with my meats and cheeses, Freak 5? I put them between two pieces of bread, and I call that a sandwich today.
You should do it like Lightyear. Put a piece of bread and whatever else in between two slices of meat.
Exactly.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It does sound good, man.
That is extra fat, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, it kind of defeats the purpose. So yeah, are you trying to avoid carbs, or are you trying to avoid fat?
Yeah. All right.
I'm trying to avoid neither. I'm just enjoying a delicious hamburger.
Yeah.
Sandwich
exactly.
thing, whatever
like
it
if
is.
you wanted to do the healthy
it was like that KFC thing when they
some lettuce for their sandwich.
Yeah, it was like that KFC thing when they put like 2 pieces of chicken and then like something in. I don't even know what, like bacon in the middle. Like what the fuck was that thing? Do you guys remember that? Like
Is that
Vaguely.
double downs were ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
double
tried
down.
It was like never again.
Yeah. It's like, all right, let's get to our free for all this week. We've got a bunch of reviews to do. Let's get right to it. Breakman, let's do yours first.
Remember last week or the week before you said you'd double team this review with me if I did it?
Yeah, the Sonic 2.
Sonic 2, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how video games like Sonic, for instance, Sonic, and then Sonic 2. Sonic was a fun game. Sonic 2 improved on original Sonic in pretty much every way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't Hollywood do that? Why does Hollywood find ways to go backwards? Like when they have something good, it seems inevitable that the sequel is always going to be worse than the first one.
Yeah.
And this one is. It's too long for one thing. It's got a weird subplot with a wedding.
I complained about that. I still think that it's a better movie than the original, though.
I don't, not at all, because the original was tight and concise. Like once it started, like they went with the story and they went down it, you know. And I looked at the runtime. The first one was like an hour and a half long. This one's over 2 hours long. Yeah,
that was my big problem with this movie, Breakman. I'm glad you brought that up. I thought it was over bloated. The wedding was wholly unnecessary. If they had taken about a half an hour out of that movie, I wonder if anybody can do a super fan cut of Sonic 2 and just cut that shit out, and then it'll probably be every bit as good as the first. I thought I'm more along the lines with
the wedding scene at the end still happened because if you cut that out completely, then the second or the climax of the movie doesn't make too much sense.
Yeah, I know, but it just
like the way they designed it, like they made that wedding an integral part of the story, but they were kept going back and forth to this wedding, which was absolutely pointless. You know?
I agree.
Oh, they're playing volleyball. Ooh, yay!
I know. It was like it would literally was about a half an hour too bloated.
It seemed like they just didn't know what to do with their two main human actors, so they're like, I was watching an episode of Friends the other night, and they had a wedding in it. Let's do that.
I thought Jim Carrey was brilliant.
It wasn't enough to derail my enjoyment. That's basically what I'm trying to say. For you guys, I guess that was a different experience.
I didn't hate Sonic 2. I really enjoyed the first one. I think I was like a 7 or something, whereas I think this one was like a 5.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's too far from where I'm thinking break, but I probably give it about the same as the first. The main maybe slightly less, maybe a 6.5, because I think it was above average, but like you said, there were some plot points that could have been cut out or done differently to make it a little more interesting. Nobody cared about that wedding. I did like the end sequence with Robotnik and that big mech. Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Jim Carrey's been pretty perfect as a villain.
Absolutely.
I don't think he would be considered perfect as a Robotnik per se.
Right.
Like he's not like what was envisioned originally for the Robotnik character, but he's so good at being like this evil villain that you know.
Yeah.
He's most of the fun of this movie. I think.
Absolutely, 100%. Of course
Whereas
he's
this first one, I liked like the buddy team up of Sonic and Donut Lord.
I do like the new characters. Obviously Knuckles and Tails, and
I thought they did a good job with them.
It was nice. It was a good addition for sure. Freak5 says, I have another idea for a TikTok channel. I will wear a mask in the video, and I will do a review of the bathroom I am in while I am taking a shit. I will call my.
It's too bad Slager's in here because he's betting on you completely hating the film and you didn't. So.
Right.
I win, I guess.
So what's your rating of Sonic 2?
I say 6.5. I thought it was pretty good, slightly above average, just not quite as good as the first one. I think I also gave the first one, I think, maybe a 7.5. So, you know.
And looking at the scores online, like the Rotten Tomato and IMDb scores are almost similar between the two movies.
What is it? Do you know?
6.5 IMDb,
Yeah.
63% for the first one, I think 69% for the second one.
Sounds about right. I mean, I don't think the second one is particularly better.
I think
but
I gave the movie like a 7.5.
Yeah. So I think we're all within range of what Sonic 2 is. I will call myself the Secret Shitter, a spoof of the Secret Shopper.
I do like the angry ant lady though, because I thought I just wanted to see someone go crazy, and she went crazy. So
yeah.
I mean, but the whole wedding thing was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah,
though.
absolutely.
Both 47% Metacritic score too. Wow, I've never seen like a sequel and an original get about the same score.
No, that's kind of weird. I mean, All right, what else you got, Break?
Let me see here. Since it was actually mentioned in chat, the South Park 25th anniversary concert.
Oh, what'd you think of that?
I thought it was a pretty fun event. There was a lot of unnecessary music that I didn't particularly want in there. Like, this is a spoiler, but they kind of spoil it in the event because for some reason, like, it looks like they made it with commercials in mind, because it stops at certain points and says coming up. I'm like, I wish you didn't say that, because now you've ruined it for me or whatever.
Yeah.
So so there's 3 different groups in there that show up, not just the South Park guys doing the music, but but when they're doing like the South Park stuff, like they do a lot of the great songs from it, but not every song. And not all the good ones, because they've got 1 billion songs,
Is that like available on any streaming service, or was this like a YouTube thing?
Paramount.
Paramount's got it. Oh, I didn't fucking know that. God damn it. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Paramount's for the 25th anniversary. I think they've got all the South Park episodes, I think, now.
Good. South Park, by the 20. It was done at Red Rocks, just to let you guys know, and Red Rocks here is right here.
I know this is unrelated, but I'm glad I waited to watch Jurassic World Dominion until now, because it's coming on Peacock soon.
Oh, good.
And it's gonna have an extended version you can watch.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
all right.
I still need to watch the Jurassic World movies.
Yeah. So what do you?
I'm far behind. I was so disappointed with the last Jurassic Park movie. I said I just haven't rushed out to go see Jurassic World.
Yeah.
The third Jurassic Park sucked.
What are you giving the South Park concert, Break?
I had a lot of fun with it. I've actually watched it a couple times, because still the music is still good. It's all music I've heard before for the most part, and so I don't know how to rate a concert usually when I'm not there and I'm watching on television. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I can imagine like it'd been really cool there because of some of the things they did. Like they projected like the images of the characters on the mountain, on the side of a mountain.
Yeah. That's how Red Rocks is. It's like either side is it's almost acoustically perfect for a concert. There's a reason why it's world famous. It was voted the #1 place in the world to have a concert, like literally. So
I bet it would have been pretty awesome to be there. Like I said, I don't think they could show it on the TV as well as it. I'm betting it looked in real life.
I can guarantee that's the case, Breakman, because I've been to Red Rocks for a concert and have seen concerts at Red Rocks on TV, and it doesn't do it justice, man. It's a majestic place. It's you should put it on your bucket list, Break, to see a concert at Red Rocks, no matter which concert it is. It is. It's a one of a kind, once in a lifetime experience at Red Rocks. It's pretty awesome. So, you put it on your bucket list for sure. So,
all right, I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, if you're a fan of South Park music, especially, I give it a thumbs up. You should check it out. If you don't like the music from the show and you don't like offensive music where they're saying fuck and talking about moms being bitches and uncles fucking, stuff like that, if you don't want to hear that, you probably wouldn't like it.
Right. And yeah, that was a nice way of referencing a bunch of good songs, man.
Yeah.
Cal's mom's a big fat bitch, and I have no problem saying that.
That's true. It's true.
All right.
Oh, it aired on Comedy Central. Yeah, you're probably right then, freak. He said it aired on Comedy Central. I'd imagine that's why those commercial breaks were in there. Because I'm not gonna run it for you, but there's a group that shows up, kind of like surprise, like we're here, like it was
Yeah,
unexpected.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not particularly big fans of them, but I thought their the one song they did was really good. I thought
yeah, yeah.
because it was performed not just by them, but like everybody else on stage too.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool.
So
I saw it. It was
so
really cool.
Primus was also performing the song with them.
Yes,
And I'm
yes.
not ruining anything by saying Primus is there. I mean, they do the theme song, so yeah.
Right, right,
Primus
right.
is one of the groups that was there.
Interesting story on how Primus came to be, but
Mhm.
yeah.
They actually explain how the theme song came to be of Primus. That's an interesting story. I won't ruin it. It's in there.
Yep.
Kyle Rittenhouse's mom is a big fat bitch.
Freak 5, you're something else, man. All right.
You win. He
What
wins
else you
the
got?
internet today. So yeah, South Park fans, you definitely have to watch that. It was good shit. Um, the other one I just watched actually earlier today. I wasn't a fan of the TV show. I said many times. I was really disappointed with it. The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh,
has a movie now.
okay.
I still need to watch the rest of season 2 before I get to the movie, though.
I don't think I watched season 2 at all. I think I quit at season 1 somewhere. Um,
That good,
I
huh?
quite enjoyed the movie.
Huh. Okay.
It's really colorful animation. I still don't like Master Splinter, what they've done to him at all.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I hated the most about the show.
I didn't hate it, but I thought it was odd choice because, like, okay, so you made him basically Travis Touchdown, but he's past his prime, and now he's a mutant rat and he's training the turtles.
Yeah, and well, and that might be one of my problems with this movie too. Is like he does a little bit of fighting in it, but mostly he just gets his ass kicked. You know, and he's supposed to be the Master Splinter, which they always used in like the old cartoons. Anytime like the turtles are getting their asses kicked, Splinter show up and save them. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We forgot Splinter's around. I forgot he was the Master.
I mean, I like it, but I think it's a big misstep for a lot of older fans because a lot of what Rise of the TMT is let's do this thing ironically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I compared it to like Teen Titans Go, where they're more concerned about the humor and bringing in like a younger generation, which I get. But the plot of the movie is it starts in the future. The Krang have attacked. They're going with the Krang aren't one guy again. It's the Krang is an entire species of aliens, like the 2000 cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the comic was like that too.
Well, the Krang are really in the 2012 series. The Krang are just an offshoot of the Utrom.
Right. So anyway, so it starts in the future, and basically Earth's lost, and the last heroes are in retreat, and their only last option is to send somebody back into the past. And this is where they introduce Casey Jones into the Rise of the Turtles. He's now the future boy sent in the past. It's another different take on Casey Jones because they're actually all completely different.
They're all different, man. I can never
the only
keep up
thing
with
to say
Casey
about
Jones.
is the hockey mask, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
And so this one,
Casey's also a girl.
What?
Right?
No, Casey's a guy.
And that's the impression the internet was giving me. So I guess I don't know where they were going. Oh.
No, Casey Jones is a boy. They call him Future Boy. In fact, at some point. But yeah, so Casey Jones he was trained by Leonardo in this one. So Leonardo's his sensei in the future. But he goes back in time to try and stop the invasion of the Krang, and it's over exaggerated and like the Rise of the Turtles was, but and I think most of the humor is okay, but I think the story's more at certain points the story's more darker than the Rise of the Turtles was, like dealing with like loss and stuff like that. But as I said, it was really colorful, especially like the final battle. It reminded me a lot of I can't remember the name of the guy who made him, but is that shit? What is that anime?
You're expecting me to tell
I
you.
know. It starts with a G. Lagoon?
Lagoon?
No. It's about a mech. People living underground. They discover a mech.
Gurren Lagann,
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's
Garen
I think,
Lagann.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
which
But
I
you know
still
how like
watch.
well, then that doesn't help. It's like really exaggerated animation and like there's a lot of color splashing across the screen and stuff like that. And I like that kind of stuff, so I enjoyed it. I like this movie a lot more than I like the show actually.
All right. So what are you giving Turtles?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
All right.
I like this more than the Sonic movie.
I'm curious as to how Seth Rogen's Mutant Mayhem is going to turn out next year.
Ooh, that's a good question. All right. Any other reviews, Break?
I've only watched a couple seasons of it, but I just so I don't want to review the other thing. No, that's okay.
All right. All right. Eric, your reviews.
Okay, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. I saw that on Saturday, and it's more or less a sequel to Beavis and Butthead Do America because it's almost plot wise pretty much exactly the same. It's just the sequence of events are different, but like the basic structure is the same.
What's the what? Hold on.
They ruin the science fair. Are about to face juvenile court and go to juvenile hall, and somebody vouches for them. The judge vouches for them and tries to get them on like a program to try to reform them by inspiring them to do better. So he sends them to space camp,
Yeah.
and then they get picked for a mission for completely insane reasons, and and they're trained as astronauts, and of course because they're Beavis and Butthead, they fuck that up, and then they get sucked into a wormhole and end up in the present day because it takes place in 1998, and then they get sent to 2022.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Which is a nice way of them bringing Beavis and Butthead into modern times. I thought it was pretty genius.
The rest of the movie is more or less an excuse to provide social commentary on the modern era
Yeah.
of cell phones and everything involved in that, like people putting in stupid passwords for passwords, or the fact that Beavis and Butthead say that call it a TV because they don't know what a smartphone is, and saying that the channel sucks, and that's social commentary on people who are way too obsessed with their smartphones and are always looking at it all the time. And
Break, man.
and then UFOs have become popular recently, so that comes into play as well, and it's providing commentary on that. And it also does the multiverse thing.
Yes, I was gonna say the multiverse thing was really funny, really well done too, and it totally made fun of multiverses and
And the
stuff like that.
animation style isn't too far removed from the original series, but it's more in line with King of Hills in terms of Mike Judge's animation technique.
Yeah. I did notice a slightly different animated style, but enough homage to the previous that it's not gonna.
And I thought that they had lived in Arlen, Texas, but apparently they lived in Highland instead.
Anyone have any idea when the new Matrix game is coming out? I don't think there's any new Matrix game in the works, Scotoma. There was that special demo that was pretty badass. I liked.
I don't know. I've been disappointed by Matrix games in the past. Like they haven't totally lived up to what they should be. Like you should have been like fucking Superman in the last Matrix game.
You haven't played the demo, have you? Break the Matrix demo, the Unreal Engine demo. It's pretty close to Superman.
No, I mean like I was talking about the what was that PS2 game I think or something.
Oh,
that came
yeah,
out around the movies.
And
And
the
like,
Matrix? That's what it was called, I think.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by the end of that movie, like you should have been fucking Superman if it wanted to be like with the game.
I know. And you know what? Somebody did a modification of that demo Break with Superman, and it looked incredible. It looked like what a Superman game should be. So I'm hoping that they make a Superman game with that engine, and it has the makings of being something really, really special. Really does.
That's cool.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't involve flying through fucking rings.
Yeah, right. Maybe make homage to that, like Superman has to like go through this like art thing that's full of rings, to get to some place or something, or just I would have fun with that actually. I would think it would be really funny.
Oh, they could do that with a Mr. Mixelplex level.
Yeah.
Because he's the one to like the fuck with Superman,
Yeah.
And like he could be the one making the jokes. Like he could make the fourth wall jokes to the audience, like the Superman can't make.
Right. All right, Eric. What else you got there?
I'm giving Beavis and Butthead Due to the Universe an 8.
I think I would concur with that, man. I thought actually it was a little bit better than that. I probably would give it a 9 out of 10 just because I mean, it was just nonstop laughter throughout the whole movie. So it's I highly recommend watching Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. It's really good.
And I also watched Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Oh, okay.
Which is on
I
Paramount
watched that,
Plus
yeah.
now. It's no longer on either Hulu or HBO Max. But
Paramount's been silently buying up stuff, it seems.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is obviously a sequel to Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and the first movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And it's kind of weird juxtaposing this against Beavis and Butthead because they were basically Beavis and Butthead, but they were himbos instead of complete total ass fucks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 25 years later, and their daughters are all grown up now, and they still haven't saved the world by uniting it in music. And they actually get called by people in the future to basically come up with a solution, because apparently them saving the world and uniting it in music is related to them saving all reality. And so they've got like a timetable of 75 minutes or something, or hours, 75 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So the whole movie's about them trying to steal the music from their future selves because they couldn't figure it out in the present. But it turns out that maybe they're not actually the ones that actually saved the world at all.
Yeah. I like that movie, Eric. I thought it was pretty inventive and creative.
And the people that didn't like it probably are the kinds of people who don't actually get what Bill and Ted's actually about.
Yeah. Bogus Journey was okay, Breakman. I mean, I wasn't offended.
A bunch of himbos trying to fumble their way through life.
Yeah. I don't know why Bogus Journey gets a lot of that hate, man. I liked Bogus Journey okay. I
kind of like how we get to see a lot more of hell this time.
Yeah.
And I think the weakest point was like them trying to make Death 2 with the dentist robot. It's like, yeah, he's not Death, and quit trying to make him funny. But other than that, I think it's a good movie. I'm giving it a 7.5 over. It's not quite as good as Beavis and Butthead in terms of quality.
Yeah,
so.
I would agree with that. I think when I reviewed that money, I think I gave it a 7.5 as well, Eric. So I thought it was fine.
And so my next movie is Predators, which I think is a 2010 movie.
Ooh, has it been that long?
2010, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2010.
It's a great movie. But...
I didn't like it as much as you guys did, but it's definitely not The Predator, which was awful.
Yeah.
2018. Robert Rodriguez likes to make a lot of ridiculous stuff happen in his movies, and he's obviously a person that's more style over substance, in my opinion. But
also, you have to remember that movie comes off of after we'd just been subjected to Aliens versus Predator and
Yeah,
Aliens versus Predator
yes,
2.
yes,
So like after we'd been subjected to those, anything was pretty much an upgrade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Those movies were awful, and they could have been badass too, man.
I know they definitely could have been.
But,
And like there was just a couple unnecessary things.
Instead, they were cash-ins.
Like
Yeah.
like the prison convict guy talking about bitch raping at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like really.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to. They want you to understand that these people are like bad people. That none of these people are good.
Yeah,
You
but you
shouldn't
can
be
do
rooting
that
for them.
without having to get gross like that.
I mean, yeah, probably. But they just want you to understand, like, you shouldn't be rooting for these people.
Yeah, but they already had proven that by the time we got to that point. So it's like
That's true.
you're just doing this to be gross.
Probably.
But I liked Lawrence Fishburne in the movie.
Yes, that was my favorite
Completely
character.
Scavenger man.
Yes.
He was talking
agree.
to himself because he's apparently become a schizophrenic in his time there.
yeah, which makes sense, right? I mean, if you're isolated without,
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite character in the movie. Like, he just shows up. He's only in it for like 20 minutes, but he's fucking hilarious because he's fucking nuts.
And then I saw a tweet based on this movie where somebody pitched the idea of the normal family man who gets captured by aliens, but he's actually a serial killer, and now he's murdering all the aliens on the ship.
yeah.
And there is a character like that in this movie.
Yes. Yes.
And the image they used was from this character. So yeah, I want to see that too. It's like, just why don't you just make a Predators movies where he ingrates himself to the Predator race, like at some colony somewhere, and he just starts finding ingenious ways to murder them.
Right. All right, so
like,
what are you giving Predators?
Predator Saw or something?
Predator Saw.
Maybe.
What are you giving Predators, Eric?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay,
So-
that's fair.
That sounds like
So my
about what I'd
ratings
give
for the
it.
Predator movies that I've seen so far would be
Yeah.
the first Predator would be a 7.5. This would be a 7, and Prey would be an 8.
Wow,
And
so
Predator 2 would be a 6.5.
I like
Wow,
Predator too a lot.
For me, it'd be Predator, and Predator 2 would be like the best of the
Well,
best.
the thing is, I didn't like.
Have you
2
seen
that
Prey?
much because I mean, it was good, but it was also super campy, and I'd rather write Predator to be more like Prey, where it's taking itself a bit more seriously.
Break.
Yeah,
Did you see Prey? Break.
And
Yeah.
the original Predator was also pretty campy. So
Yeah. I think.
I mean, it was campy in little ways, like, like I don't have time to bleed and stuff like that. But that was basically the point of showing you how like badass these guys were.
Right.
Like, these guys are supposed to be the most badass guys that have ever been.
it was also definitely a product of its time too.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
And that's
for sure.
kind of the point too of showing you.
I mean-
how
I'm just
used to
saying,
all
like-
these movies with all the heroes and the big buff guys, and they're going to go in and they're going to kill all the bad guys. You're used to that, so they show them doing that,
like
and then the Predator comes in and shows that he's the best.
12 years
bad.
anymore. I'm kind of
Predator on
uh,
Steam is fun. You can play as either the humans or the Predator. Yeah, I've seen that game. It looks pretty fun.
But okay, I also saw Lightyear.
Hold on, let me. So what are you giving?
Yeah, what were you trying to say before?
I gave it a rating.
Okay.
A 7, I think.
Yeah, in my opinion, Predator 1's probably the best. I'd go with
Yeah.
Prey number 2, and then I would probably go with Predator 2 and Predators like on the same level. I don't know. All right, Light.
Who was in Predator 2?
Glover. Yeah.
Who else was in Predator 2?
Gary Busey.
Who else was in Predator 2?
That's right.
I'm trying to think. Break. I know Gary Busey
Come
was
on,
in
another awesome actor. This is why this movie's the better of all of them.
it.
Come on.
Kevin Bacon?
No.
No, he's not in that.
Oh.
No.
I can't remember.
Unfortunately, he died not too long ago, tragically. Several years, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
Who? Break. Remind
Bill
me.
Paxton.
Oh, that's right. He is in Predator too.
Yeah.
Damn. I forgot about that, man. Holy shit. Yeah. All right. Lightyear. Eric.
Lightyear, it's okay. I mean, I think the basic premise of the movie is kind of off because it's a movie I mean, it kind of works because it's not like Toy Story ever told us that Buzz Lightyear was a character based on a movie that Andy watched that eventually got franchised. That's the headcanon going with it, and the franchise toy kid-friendly version or kid-friendly version that could be sold to probably kids even younger than he is in the film.
Is that why they changed the animated style, Eric? Because it was jarring to see Buzz Lightyear in that animation style to me. I don't know. It just seemed different, you know. But all right, continue on.
But anyways, it's about how he, as a captain, went on this mission and with this space ranger force, and he ended up getting them stuck on the planet because the mission ended up complete abject failure, and their ability to hyperspeed off the planet, the thing that powers it, was destroyed. So without a substitute of that, they were basically stuck on there until they could create a new power source. But every time they've tried to create a suitable substitute, it became unstable, and he kept failing. And the years went on by because he suffered the effects of time dilation every time they failed. And he eventually gets to like 100 years later, and he's been canned as a mission objective and basically being reassigned, and they're gonna decommission his pet robot cat thing. And that's when he decides to steal the cat, because the cat had finally come up with a stable solution for the formula to get them off the planet with the correct hyperspeed crystal. And that's when the robots start showing up, and there's a whole adventure with that. I kind of hate how they did Zurg dirty, because they didn't make him a proper villain. And instead, they kind of did the time travel thing where he's an evil version of himself. Spoiler. But if you were paying attention to the movie, it's not that much of a spoiler, really, though. But it was all right. There's a sequel hook, but I'm not so sure they'll make a sequel.
You're exiled, Frank. Exiled.
But I'm gonna
I'm
give
just
this
kidding.
movie.
That's not a movie I'm gonna go to the bat for.
I'm also gonna give this movie a 6.5.
All right, that's fair. Slightly above average. You know, that's good. All right, and you're gonna hold off on your Dragon Ball Super.
No, I'll do it.
No,
but
you can do it. I'll take my headset off. Let me know when you're back. Or when you're done.
All right.
But my mostly spoiler-free review of Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Yes, Super is twice in the title because Toriyama didn't think very well when he came up with the title of the film. In retrospect, he said it was redundant, but not so really. I mean, superhero is different than Super because Dragon Ball Super is the name of the series, but yeah, they probably could have used Super somewhere else. But it's about takes place at least a year and a half to 2 years after the events of the series, which is after the Tournament Power. And while the manga does fill in that time, the movie itself doesn't acknowledge it because they don't want to. They're not necessarily sure whether or not they should just continue the Super anime and just readapt what's going on in the manga already up to this point. And they might actually end up doing an alternate story where they do basically the same pizza maybe with different scenarios. So the characters introduced in the manga might not actually show up, or they'll show up in different capacities. So it doesn't try to acknowledge what happened in those films, and it just vaguely references other strong guys, because like you see a scene of Goku and Vegeta talking about how their training philosophies are clashing and why they need to train, and it's in reference to the Tournament of Power, and the other strong guys probably does refer to the characters that show up in the manga after that. But so that was a clever use of that. Piccolo and Gohan get power upgrades, and they're pretty interesting because Piccolo just straight up becomes super strong, and he resembles an orange-looking Hulk type figure because he bulks up like the Hulk does. And he's already green, but they had to change the color to something else because to make him look more different. But he actually kind of reminds me of What Slug in terms of his physique when he goes to that mode. And Gohan basically just becomes an even more wild-looking version of the Super Saiyan 2 form from when he was younger. And I theorize that he actually kind of looks like no, sorry, Break interrupted me. Thanks, Break. But I theorize that he's basically drawing on his mother's rage that he inherited from her, and it's just being drawn into his ultimate potential, so he could just get more powerful that way. But,
all right.
Because apparently she inherited something from her father, which was like the rage of a wild boar. And considering how angry she gets, I can believe that there's something like going on there, like that's, I would say demonic, but like definitely umbral. But
Alright.
Anyways, it's cute, and the animation actually looks pretty good despite it being not 60 frames. I actually think it is 60 frames, but they're doing the Guilty Gear thing where they're drawing less frames of animation per movement, so that it looks like it's moving like a animatic comic book and animate in an animated cell. So because there's also hybrid animation going on, so that's kind of why they had to do it the way they did. So it looks no worse than watching a Guilty Gear, all those Guilty Gear sequences in the story mode for Guilty Gear Strive or something like that. I think it's the best Dragon Ball movie yet. It probably has the most story, and even though in the movie's actually tight, I think there is a bit of character development, and it's definitely setting up for possibly the show shifting away from Goku and Vegeta, even though I think the next movie is probably going to be Goku and Vegeta focused, because it's building up something there as well. Because Broly's being trained to control his power, and the villain of the movie, while the movie doesn't show it, is suggesting that he was specifically created to fight Broly, because Broly showed up on Earth, and the villains from the Red Ribbon Army were basically still spying on them at that point, and they probably have his data. And they called Goku and Vegeta mid-tier bosses, because Broly's probably stronger at them at this point, even with their extra training. So I like I said, I really liked it, and I think if you're a fan of Dragon Ball or even just action movie anime, you should check it out. And I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Wow, great score, man. All right. Wow. Skodoma says, "OMG, I was distracted by you guys and I missed my exit on the freeway." We're compelling. What can I say, Skodoma? Can we bring back a break now, Eric?
Yeah, you can come back.
All right. So great score on that for sure. So I'm going to get into mine, and I'm going to do mine fairly quick. I already talked about Sonic 2. I'm not going to do a review on She-Hulk after one episode, but I will say I'm kind of scratching my head on She-Hulk a little bit. I'm interested to see what's going on with that, because She-Hulk is an awesome comic book character. So, and I mean, it was slightly intriguing to me. I'm just wondering how this is gonna play out.
So you have to review.
What's that?
What are you reviewing?
She-Hulk. I'm just did an impression. I'm gonna review 12 Feet Under. I'm gonna review The Ledge. I'm gonna review Vox Machina Season 1, and I'm gonna top it off all with Shibuya Scramble, which I've been playing forever. as you guys know. So those are my reviews. 12 Feet Under. I'm just gonna go rapid fire, except for Shibuya. 12 Feet Under is a very suspenseful movie about these two sisters that get stuck in a swimming pool. They cover the swimming pool, and then they're underneath that cover. Obviously, there's a little bit of room there for breathing, but not much else. So it was fairly harrowing. There's it's one of those sequence of events type of things where people get themselves in predicament and there's nothing they can do about it. But the late night janitor who is told that she's going to be fired that night basically is the only one left in the building after the fact, and she's kind of nefarious. She's kind of a drug addict and, needs money, and you can tell that's why she got fired. She was looking through people's like stuff to, get money and stuff. And so the guy tells her it's sort of like a felon release program apparently at this pool. So it just plays out where these women are just, it's harrowing. They get stuck there, and the woman has a chance to let them leave, but she obviously wants some money. So there's some stuff, stuff that goes on that the woman wants to get their money, and they end up I mean, it's just one thing after another with these women, and they try to get out, and there's not much in that pool for them to have the means to get out. But I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good movie, but the problem I had with it is it's much ado about nothing, because once they get out, I mean, there's no consequences for anybody. It just ends. So, I mean, it's a slightly above average movie. I give it a 6.5 out of 10 for the tension and stuff. Just there's some acting in there that isn't the greatest in the world. They didn't have the budget to get really great actors, so these are newer actors and actresses. And Tobin Bell makes a brief appearance in it, which he's always good, but the rest of the movie suffers from having a really good actor in it. Is the best way that I can put it. Direction was okay, but overall I think it's a 6.5. The next movie is slightly better. It's called The Ledge, another suspense-filled movie about these two women that meet up with these 4 guys at a distant, like, mountainous lodge, and the women are expert rock climbers, like freehand rock climbers, which is crazy shit, right? Free climbing, and the guys are just a step underneath that, so they can't quite do, what these women can. But of course, there's a plot about them trying to hook up and all this, but ends up being that the leader of these 4 guys is kind of an asshole. He's ready to get married. He's engaged, but he's still cheating on his wife, so he's just a real scumbag. And one thing leads to another, and they, one of the women gets killed by these guys, and the other woman has to, like, run and climb a big ass harrowing mountain in order to get away, and so they do their best to climb their way around and catch up to her, but she's a badass, and kind of how things play out there. But I don't know. I like the tension. I think watching those movies gives me anxiety like they would any human being. It's funny watching Bernie watch these movies because she has anxiety anyways. So her watching these movies is like her palms are sweaty, and it's like one of those type of things. But I thought it was really well done.
She's the kind of person who can't eat popcorn in her lap when she's watching a movie.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. Screaming and jumping.
I'm
yeah,
not cleaning that up.
Yeah, but I think it was a really well acted movie. Again, not a lot of actors that people know, but in this case, they're better actors than the previous movie. So I give this movie a solid 7.5 out of 10. I think it's one of those good, like, watch on streaming if you get a chance to, or maybe the Redbox. Where did we see this on? The Ledge, Bernie? Do you remember?
Hulu, I believe.
Oh, I think it was on Hulu. So if you guys want to watch The Ledge, then Hulu will be the place to go for it. 12 Feet Under, I believe, was on Amazon Prime. So most of everything that I watch is streaming nowadays. So, there you go. The next one is Vox Machina Season 1. on Amazon
I watched
Prime.
that.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
I thought it was a fun first season. It's basically everybody's that's played Dungeons and Dragons has experienced Vox Machina season 1. I mean, it's got a pretty straightforward plot with a couple of
This is the XR-rated version of Dungeons and Dragons.
yes. Which I mean, anybody that's played
Which I
Dungeons,
enjoy. I love this.
Is anybody interested in that Among Thieves D&D movie next year?
Yes, I am. Just because I've played Dungeons and Dragons, forever. But
and there's no way it could be worse than the first Dungeons and Dragons.
No way it could.
It's definitely got to be better than the Uncharted movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So I mean,
the first Dungeons and Dragons movie. Good God in heaven.
I mean, there's points in this Vox Machina series where it's like it just took me back to like arguments that I've had at the D&D table with people. You know what I mean? Like it's such an homage to Dungeons and Dragons that this may have well been a campaign in Dungeons and Dragons, right? I mean, it was really good, and I liked it. I like the characters. The voice acting was solid. The animation was actually pretty good for what it was. So I mean, there's nothing much not to like about Vox Machina season 1. Like Break said, it is a very adult oriented
lots
thing.
of blood and guts, and I think there's nudity in this.
There is a little
too,
bit of
actually.
nudity and sex, yeah. Which
I was about to say it's like Invincible, but I was like, wait, no, Invincible doesn't have nudity. Yeah, there's nudity in this.
Yeah, a little bit of nudity, and a lot of moxie and wit to this show. So I'm interested to see where season 2 goes. They did get renewed for season 2, so I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think there's slight room for improvement, but it's on its way to being a great series, and I hope they keep it going. They got every D&D stereotype that you could possibly think of in this for the most part. So it is from a campaign. Freak 5 says started as a podcast of voice actors playing D&D. Yeah. I think I read something on that, Freak. So it's great.
I just reminded of something that I completely forgot to mention in my review note. Here's a funny story about me watching Nope. By the time I got out of theater, it was dark at around 7:30, and I heard 2 very loud noises from several hundred feet away, and by the time I got near the interstate freeway, I heard an ambulance, and I was like, oh my god, those were gunshots.
Yikes.
Wow.
And it's just funny juxtaposing that against the movie I was seeing called Nope, so I noped out of there.
Yeah, I would have too, man, for sure. That's a great deal, but I don't have like
gunshots.
4 other games to get
I'm probably never going to that theater again because of that.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I don't want to go to Ashtabula Theater because I'll probably get shot.
God, do they have this
I
in?
hate hearing it. Like you're sitting in your living room watching TV and
Boom,
hearing
boom.
gunshots. I hate that shit.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, is this actually in? Can I get pick up at the store? It looks like I can, man. That's a great deal. $3 for Trails of Cold Steel 3. That's fucking great.
I don't know if you have got the first 2, but you can get that for cheap. Why not?
Why not? $3? Shit. Critical Role. I think it is Critical Role, Freak 5. Okay. My final review is for a game called Shibuya Scramble. It's basically a novel, choose your own adventure game. There's no voice acting in it. There is a couple of videos included in this, but mostly it's stills of you, just basically visual representations of what you're reading and what's going on. I thought it was really well written. There's a couple of too tidy, like Hollywood ending type stuff at the end type stuff, and one thing that I did find to be really irritating is when you do get to that end, it's really hard to find the path that gets you to that end. So I wish that was something that they would have did a little bit better, but I to be honest, I really don't know how they could have. They have so many bad endings in there. I mean, you're bound to run into probably 50 bad endings.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It, like I said, it's like a choose your own adventure. And then what I like is when you get to a bad ending, they give you a hint on how to change that ending, so you can go back to another. Although in the last couple of hours they don't give you those hints, which kind of sucks. But but other than that,
about 20 of the endings are dedicated to making slightly different choices during the climax.
yeah, and that does kind of suck because, like I said, it's hard to get to the actual end of the game without. And the other thing I didn't like is they didn't explain what happened. Like one of the main characters, did he get back with his woman and have a Hollywood ending with her? Like there were some some things I did not like about the game, but overall,
there is a supplemental material that covers the very end of the game and what went on with that character.
Is that in the after you finish the game? Because I didn't do that little bit. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll look at that too, but.
I haven't done it yet either, but
yeah,
I have to get to it.
I mean, it's a fun game. If you like choose your own adventure type games, if you like a little bit of intrigue and a couple of plot twists and detective story type game, I mean, this is definitely the game for you. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I did think it was a bit too long though for this type of game, but it is a very healthy game, and right now it's on sale on the PlayStation Store. So if you have a few extra bucks, I mean, it's worth it because there's lots of hours of gameplay in this game. It's not just one of these things where you can just go through it in a night and beat it. So yeah. Do I remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books? Of course, Scotoma.
Yes,
no
absolutely.
doubt. And
I love cheating those books.
I know. You just go to the end and you see, like, you work backwards, and then you're like,
what I'd do is, like, I'd read up, and then when it goes to a choice, I'd like keep my thumb on that page and like see which one. Like, I'll try this one. Oh shit, nope, going back.
See, I played those games or read those books the right way, but when I would make a choice, I would always like, oh fuck, like look at like, just kind of like go to that page, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the wrong one. But they were a ton of fun.
Even when I cheated, I still died.
You'll do that in this game a lot, Scotoma. Like if you ever play if any of you PlayStation, I don't know if it's on. I don't think it's on Xbox. Is it, Eric?
No.
Yeah, I think
haven't
it's
ported it yet.
Yeah, I wish they would, because this is a game.
Chunsoft might eventually do it though, because they've been porting a lot of their stuff to this Xbox.
I hope they do, because
while
it's
Nonary Games and Virtue's Last Reward or the Zero Time Dilemma aren't on Switch yet. I suspect they will be, because they just want to finish up doing the Xbox version first.
Yeah. So this game is a ton of fun. It's got a lot of different endings. Like, you can get like absurd bad endings. You can get bad endings that make a lot of sense. But sometimes it gets a little hard to figure out how to find the right path forward. So it's kind of my only beef with the game. I thought the story was pretty decent. Like I said, there were some, at the end it's kind of Hollywood type ending, but overall, all in all, I think it's a pretty solid game for this type of game, and I give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, you guys know I've been playing this game for a long time, so I finally got it out of the way, so I can look forward to doing something else.
I think the best part is where you're playing as the girl who's stuck in that cat suit.
Yeah, Tama was a fun character to play, but she plays a bigger role in the grand scheme of things. But Freak says there was a series of books that were like Choose Your Own Adventures that were all about time travel. I remember those books, Freak 5. I like those books too. They were really...
You time traveled back to 90 million BC. You're eaten by a dinosaur. Turn back page.
Yeah, exactly. There was one of those books that was like that. Like, you end up going back to like dinosaur days, and then you get eaten or something, and then it's like, yeah. So there you go.
Back to 90,000. The year 9 million BC. Do you step out of your time machine, or you stay in the time machine?
Fuck
I
no.
step out of the time machine.
Oh.
You're immediately eaten eaten by
by
a
a T-Rex. Yeah, exactly.
No, I kept my thumb on the page. That doesn't count. I'm going back in time. Fuck this shit.
I'm gonna go back to the old West days.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back about a couple years when that thing's little. I'm gonna fucking teach it a lesson. Goddamn T-Rex motherfucker.
you get like a fucking grenade launcher. You go back in time and you just fucking grenade launch the T-Rex, and you end up breaking the time space continuum because that T-Rex was like the key to the entire universe. You know, it's like
it was like you find out that like through the process of DNA reincarnation shit that it was actually your grandfather or something.
Yeah.
Butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Like you killed the thing that became the human that would become your grandfather.
There was a book like that where there was a time machine and this guy like steps on a leaf or something and it sets off a chain of events that just fucks up all of everything.
They do that on a Simpsons episode too.
Yeah. These books didn't have you die, if I remember correctly. I know which ones you're talking about, Freak 5, but the Choose Your Own Adventure books were kind of glum, man. Like they were.
There was a lot of dying.
There was a lot of dying, man. Like there's a lot of dying in this Shibuya Scramble too. You would not be disappointed, Break. It's actually really fun. It's a ton of fun to play. It just gets a little tedious, and the only other little nitpick that I got
because there's no voice acting at all.
Yeah, no voice acting. But the one thing that did bother me is that the music does get repetitive after a while.
It probably would have been easier to digest if it were on the Switch, though, because the game was originally a Wii release, which was a weird enough platform choice in itself, because I guess they could have held out and did a DS release a few years later.
I guess. I mean, it's a fine game. I recommend people play it, for sure. Time Machine, they were trying to be educational. Yeah, so no dying in those.
Educational,
no
God.
I know. It's like those educational math games on the Atari. I don't know if you remember those, Break, but
yeah.
those suck.
I remember doing something like that on the Apple.
Yeah.
The old Apple machines where we had the giant floppy disks. You know, the ones
Yeah.
that were actually floppy.
Yeah. I remember playing like Carmen Sandiego on those things, man. Those were fun. Or Oregon Trail and, shit like that. But all right, I think it's time to go, guys. Let's get the hell out of here.
I think I mostly like Thomas' story, though, because of everything that involves that storyline also involves the stupid dude with the afro.
Oh, he was Yagashita, I think his name was. He was a lot of fun, man. There's a lot of endearing characters in this, and a lot of emotional, type stuff. So, I just
also that butler is fucking creepy as hell.
Which what?
The butler.
Which butler?
The dude who's basically the assistant to the writer or the doctor. I mean.
Tateno or whatever his name was.
Tateno.
Yeah. I like it, man. I mean, I thought it was pretty good, man. It just it's one of the. There's a few twists and turns in the game too, but Mickey Mouse game was badass.
He typed Mackie Mouse, and I was really thinking like Mackie Mouse. I'm Mackie. What's that?
Was there a
game?
Mackie Mouse? Was there a Mackie Mouse?
I feel stupid now.
Yeah.
Very stupid.
All right, let's do our plugs. Start with you, Break.
He says the time machine games are educational. Death's educational. I mean, you don't want somebody going back in time to the old west and like drinking water or something.
Right,
I mean,
you'll die. Absolutely.
You gotta like warn people about this kind of stuff. That's education.
Right.
You don't want the butterfly effect. You don't want to go back there and kill all the dinosaurs by sneezing or something.
Well, you could literally do that. You go back with the flu and you go back to Wild West times. That could set everything completely different. It's like. It's crazy the amount of things that could go wrong with the time machine, man. Like even taking your time machine back and landing it somewhere could cause a cataclysmic effect,
And how would it work? Like, would time break or would it split off? I mean, who's to say? Like, would we go into an alternative timeline? Would our time still exist?
Right. Right.
Like,
right.
What happens then? Like, there's so many questions.
Well, it's a multiverse.
Based on my understanding, time is fairly linear. So even if you could travel through time, you could probably only go forwards. And even if you could go back in the past, you'd probably just make a splinter reality where different set of things happened.
Right, like an alternate history type thing. Like,
And if
Yeah.
you went back
That's
to
what
your own time, you wouldn't be able to change anything in that timeline.
right, right. All right, I'm definitely gonna check that out after the show. Freak Five. I love the
But
new Beavis
maybe
and
you're
Butthead.
not creating alternate realities. Maybe that reality always exists. You're just, maybe
Yeah.
the time machine just allows you to see
New
what
episodes
would
of
happen
Loki.
if you made those choices.
Yeah, new
What if it
episodes of Loki.
destroys the
Awesome.
universe?
Yeah, that's true, too.
Maybe
Maybe.
like their tinkering with time is maybe that's illegal and it'll destroy
Yeah,
the universe or something.
exactly.
Well,
Maybe
not
it'll just
illegal, maybe it's,
create a black hole of
scientifically it'll
nothingness.
create a black hole. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah.
Black
In my
hole
opinion,
sucks
if you
up
could
the
travel
planet
back
and-
in time, you were already in the past before you left in your correct time. Well, that's. I mean, it's that whole infinite loop thing. Freak Five Triangle did a really good job of doing the time travel type thing.
What was that movie?
Crime
Seven
Times.
Monkeys or 12 Monkeys.
12
Yeah.
Monkeys was good, but you know an even better is Time Crimes. Time Crimes is one of the greatest time
Time
travel
Crimes.
movies
Is
of
that
all
a
time.
comedy?
No, Time Crimes is like almost
A name
bordering.
like that almost sounds like it, though.
No, Time
But-
Crimes is fucking awesome, man.
I
That's
use
a
12
great.
Monkeys as an example because that's a time loop. Like no matter what you like, that's them going back. Him going back in time was supposed to happen, and everything that happened was supposed to happen. You know, and that's
Yeah.
and
yeah.
he's always gonna go back in time, and it's always gonna play out the exact
Yep.
same way.
Yep.
Is there going to be a season 2 of Loki?
Of what?
Of Loki?
Yes, there is
They,
for
yeah,
sure.
they already. Well, yeah, this is Disney. I was thinking about HBO Max for a second.
Yeah.
Because
I'm-
yeah. This
I
is-
think I'm gonna get rid of
They
HBO
watched
Max.
WandaVision.
I mean, I told you guys the reason for me to have HBO Max was a lot of the Warner Brothers stuff. But if they take that off, I'm out. You know.
They've just been taking stuff off
I-
without warning.
The rest of Ben 10 before they decided to pull all of the rest of the Cartoon Network stuff, too.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here, guys. I'm getting hungry. Break. Plug away.
I'm hungry. You're getting. Wait, what are we talking about again?
Plug,
Who's
sir.
hungry? Oh, you can follow me at RPGrinders
Grinders.
on Twitter.
You were practicing that. I knew you were practicing. We heard you while Eric was doing his review, man. I'm
Wait,
like,
maybe,
I was trying to be quiet about it. I'm sorry. I
maybe,
didn't mean
maybe
to-
Skype not working is what Drake was doing. He was practicing.
he was
Hey, that's
That's why
practicing.
Skype doesn't work. It hears my harmonica.
He
It's
was
like,
br-
fuck that.
Break's got a time machine to go back in time to kill the creator of Skype. Like it's like before he's even born, you know. It's like a Terminator version. All right.
No, because then we
Go
never
through the phone
show.
book,
So
find a name like.
you go back in time to teach him how to create a not shitty version. Of
Right,
Skype.
a non-shitty version. So in essence, he helps himself in the future, and then all of a sudden, like every episode of Grinders is on time and perfect Skype calls, and you know, like.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna break his hands.
That's more interesting, anyways.
And
All right.
then what do you get from helping him out? We'll go to your bank account so you can get a better computer. So
Yeah,
even the
there-
Skype
there you
does
go.
have problems.
Yeah,
There's
that's
money
even
involved.
better.
Now I'll do the right thing.
All right, Eric, come on, let's do your plugs, man. Let's get out of here.
You can find written reviews on BostonBestBreed.com. And then there's the audio feed where I do audio reviews. I don't have anything this week. Like I mentioned, I didn't do anything last week, but I was going to get the 2 episodes of the Metroid retrospective that I've done so far up, and they're up now. So you can check those out. And if you like any of that stuff and you want to continue or want to support me, even giving me as little $1 per month or just whatever you can for a one-time donation would help out a lot. Or you can mention me to somebody who's more interested, who could do monthlies or whatever, if you can't. But the link to my Patreon is in my Twitter profile, which is at EricRPG.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You can look at my other channel, and I've got some very interesting content on there. It's called Mexican Long Hair. If you like cop watching, if you like audits, if you like just general stupidity, then feel free to check that channel out. Make sure you check out Shibuya Scramble. And I'm also on all of the services as RPGrinders, whether it be PlayStation, Xbox, or the Switch. let's see. Also, I will be getting an Xbox X at some point after I get back from my vacation in September, so look forward to that. And I think that's it. You guys have anything else?
It just depends on how much you win.
Yeah, I'm hoping to win at least some. I'm not going to do a lot of gambling, to be honest.
No, I'm saying like your purchase depends. How soon you purchase it depends on how much you win in Vegas.
It actually does not, but I just got logistics after I get back, pretty much. Just seeing where I'm at, and it really doesn't depend on that, to be honest. But but it'll be a month or less. I can tell you that much. Unless
Well, if
something.
you win a lot of money, though, you don't have to.
Oh, if I win a lot of money, then shit, I might buy one in Vegas and have it shipped there by the time I get home. So
Nice,
that would be
nice.
cool. If you like Hot Tub Time Machine, Scotoma says. So yeah, if you like sultry hot tub time, yeah, go check out Mexican Longhair on YouTube. All right, and I think that's pretty much it. You guys have anything else?
Meh.
Make sure you check
No.
out Shibuya Scramble too on the PlayStation. It's pretty damn good and a lengthy novel game. So there you go. Eric, anything else?
Stay safe. Like, continue to wear masks wherever because the pandemic's still not over.
Yeah. All right. I don't have anything else for you guys. Take care. Stay safe this weekend. And until the next one, we are out. Later, everybody.
I was gonna say something. I forgot. You don't like my harmonica playing either? Damn, that's pretty.
Even the cats can't stand your microphone, your harmonica playing.
Cats already didn't like it. The dog hates mine, so make sure you like it.
All right, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. I didn't get a chance to see everybody that was in there. I know Scotoma, Freak 5, I know you were in there. Looks like Bozendi was in there, Jody Moon. Did I miss anybody that was in there? Oh, Wyland was in there earlier.
My only disappointment with Dragon Ball Superhero was the fact that it's not even a fault of the movie. It's a fault of Toei's and it's a lack of advertising because I mean, I guess I'm kind of grateful in a way because I'd rather there be less people in the theater, but there's like only one other person in the theater for both the screenings I went to.
That's weird because I thought it was gonna might even take the top box office spot
I mean,
this week.
maybe over the weekend, but I don't know. Maybe weekdays like the Thursday night before like the quote unquote official release date.
Yeah.
It's just the time when people aren't seeing
Gotcha.
movies.
All right, everybody in chat, thanks a lot.